The most important Ethereum video you may see this cycle. We're going to get into some very important aspects of the chart here on Ethereum this morning and talk about a play that I have run. So get ready. This is going to be a mashup of Ethereum and Income Machine this morning. Okay, but before we get going, check out the channel memberships. You get the most bang for your buck out of that stalagmite level where I do my real time trade posts. I'm going to talk about we also have stalactite and soda straw where you get the badges, you get the emojis, and then stalactite you get the member shoutouts as well. And of course, every level gets early access to the videos while they are processing and being checked for everything on YouTube. You can still watch them. If you're a member, you can see them while they're waiting to be uploaded for monetization and to HD. All right. Anyways, let's get right into this thing. Ethereum. All right, so daily chart on Ethereum is looking pretty hot here. Now, two things I want you to really look at right now, and you probably already see them if you've been with us for a while, is we've got RSI divergence. We've got a wicked RSI divergence. Look how much higher we are right now and how much lower the RSI divergence is. Like we are about 6% higher, and at one point we were upwards of 10, 11% higher than we were back here. But look at this RSI. That RSI was before it went as high as 87, and now we're chilling at 70. So that's not great. We had that similar RSI divergence play out back here on June 11th. You can see RSI was up at 86 when price was only at 2,700. Price went up to about 2,900 while RSI was down at about 67, and then we did a little sweep underneath the lows, and then we went higher. So at this point, we could see a dip down to, this 37, maybe even 36, possibly if things get really nasty, back down testing these highs back here around 2,900 again before going much higher. So pay attention to that real quick. That's going to be really important because notice we did not make that new all-time high over the weekend. I thought we would potentially do that, but we did not. Okay. We'll also BX Trender showing weaker buying pressure today compared to yesterday on Ethereum. Okay. So go one more thing. We're going to go to the weekly chart for this bad boy. What do you see here? If you've been here a while, you've probably already spotted it before I'm going to say anything. What are you seeing? You're seeing something that looks akin to like a quad top here. Top, 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 top. What happens here every time we get to this level? We've been selling off at least down to 2,900, sometimes as deep as 1,300. Now, I don't think that's going to happen again because that was the tariff lows. So I am thinking the lowest we could potentially hit right now is possibly around 2,700 if things go bad. All right, if they go bad. And we're going to be looking for those clues right now. All right, so the next thing is if we are unable to, in this drive, come up to a brand new all-time high and cross this high back here, if we're not capable of doing that in this run, we're likely going to see this thing roll over and at least come back and test about 3,000. Okay, that's probably a likely thing to happen. Maybe 3,200, somewhere around that, if we cannot make it up over the previous all-time high. And even if we get there, we don't hold it, we're coming back down. Okay, so pay attention for that. Watch for that. That could happen. That is very much on the table. This thing isn't going to just drive higher. Okay, pay attention. How will we know? How will we know? How will they know? Well, let's go and analyze the last couple of times that this happened. So let's go over here and let's see what types of candles we were seeing here. We saw some dojis, right? Doji over here as well. That's a wide body doji, but it's still a doji that closed lower, right? And opened lower. And then we consolidated beneath that doji. Look at that. We consolidated beneath that doji and then drove lower. Okay. We're looking for things like that. What happened last time, that other time, right? Doji. Then we had a doji that was beneath that, and then a hammer candle beneath that, but a red hammer, not a green hammer, beneath that, followed by a drive lower. Okay, doji lower, right? What happened over here? We had a hammer candle at the top, but it was a red hammer, and then it just sold off immediately. So, and that was tariff. That was like we were going into the tariff sell-off at that point already. But crypto likes to lead things because it's less regulated. It's more Wild West. There's probably some insider trading going on in there, to be honest. Okay, so what are we looking for? What are we looking for right now on this weekly chart? We're looking for either, since this candle's got a wick on top, we're We're looking for a doji. We're looking for a doji. We're looking for a doji that next week opens and closes beneath that doji. And then we could see it drive as low as, 3,500 and really not be concerned. I mean, honestly, because there's a shelf of volume here on the volume profile all the way down at about 3,200. Even there, I wouldn't be too concerned. I'd be looking to load up if it bounced. But if it crossed that, then we'd be looking at that next level of volume, which starts around 2,700 and drives as low as 2,500, which would give you all this support right here that we could aim for if things get weak. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to drive right up to 4,500. Okay, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we're looking for weakness here. We've had a strong drive up. RSI on the weekly is getting overbought. Okay, it's getting overbought. That doesn't mean it can't stay overbought, but we need to pay attention. We need to look for the signs. We are not getting caught off size on this thing, all right? Let me remove that. Let me remove this one too. So we're going to draw some lines right now, actually. So we're going to draw a few lines. Okay, let me go down to the daily to draw these lines. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Go like that. All right, there we go. Let me get array up. Okay. Draw that one. This one's defeated, so I'm going to delete it. This one's done. I'm going to delete it. We'll come here and we'll draw this. All right, that's line 2. Notice how and we never came back to touch line 2, so that's interesting. But it appears that we got some kind of line 3 there. This is looking like it's trying to do 4 angles. So we're at least probably going to touch this line before we take off, maybe this one down here. So we're going to watch these lines, right? Like this one right here, I'm going to put an alert on that. That's your warning shot. That's like, hey, something's going on. So we got warning shot here. Okay, and I typed that badly. I'm sorry, everybody. Warning shot. Okay. All right, we're looking at that. So the last few times, we saw consolidation up here. Like we looked to see consolidation. This one kind of just went up and came down on that one. Let's see the other time too. Same thing. Even before that, what is going on here? Even when we saw like the tariffs, we saw a little bit of consolidation at the top. So what we're looking for right now on the daily chart is going to be some consolidation. So we're looking for something akin to like this structure here, but up here. And basically what we're looking for is failure to take that high. We're looking for failure to take this high right here at 43.50, right? We're looking for failure there. We get that failure, and this thing could drive back down to that lower level of support, which is down here around that 2,700, 25 to 2,700 level if we cannot break that high, okay? So we're looking for that. We want to watch it very, very closely, all right? That's why it's the most important thing you can watch on Ethereum right now, because it might not just keep driving higher. And we're looking for the signs, and I just gave you some of the signs. I gave you the 3-line chart there. The 3 angles of attack, and if we lose one of those angles, we are likely to lose more on the way down, okay? So watch it. If we sweep the highs, right, if we sweep the highs and close above the highs, Ethereum has room to go higher. And how have I been capitalizing on this move higher on Ethereum? That's how we get into the income machine aspect of this thing. All right, so let's get into that. We've got the Ethereum outlook taken care of. So let's get to the income machine aspect of the video here. So this is going to be Bitmine here. All right, BMNR. And in fact, this morning I closed this. So I opened it on Friday, a $1,000 premium, $55 put on this thing. And I collected about $400 today on this little pop up. I got near the top here, sold near the top, and then closed it out so it could come back down. And look where it came back down to, right to that shelf on the volume. I'm looking to re-enter this thing. Now, of course, I didn't re-enter because I'll show you on the 30-minute chart here how we got this perfect bear flag and then continuation just beneath the volume profile shelf there. Excuse me, on the 30-minute. Okay. That's why I didn't. But once we break out from this and get back above $65, this thing's ready to roll again. And I'll be looking to do more cash secured puts on this, collect even more income on this thing. And if you're in Stalagmite, you will get all of those alerts. But that's the income machine for this one today. Go ahead and go like here, options. Okay, BMNR. I had the 55 put for September 19th. Here already. That's the one I did and sold. So we went to 55, and that one I think is still worth something, right? Yeah, well, it's already back up to $900. So I did a great job selling that one. I could resell this one tomorrow probably for the same amount if it keeps going down a little bit. But what I'm looking at now is maybe the August 29th, maybe the 22nd, and I'm looking for pushing it up maybe to $60 if we get a little higher, if we close above that level I was looking at before on that shelf. That $60 one right now is also on August 29th is also going for $980. And if we believe Ethereum is going to keep going up, which it's at a flexion point right now, it either needs to keep driving or it needs to come back down. But if it keeps driving higher, we're looking at it, moving up into the 70s, potentially even up as high as 92 for Bitmine, BMNR. And if it does that, well, then we're looking at collecting pretty much all of this premium by the end of August, and that would be pretty exciting. All right, so that's what we're looking at right now for the income machine. Now, another thing is for this one is SBET. SBET is another one. This is another one on my list, and if you're a stalagmite, you already know that this is on my list. We're looking at this thing. I'd be looking more, same thing. I mean, $2,200. You'll get 370 collection on 2,200, and if we go to SBET, that one had a little pop-up today too and then sold off. So we are looking for it to get, SBET really needs to clear about $25. It's got to clear $25. Once it clears $25, I'd be looking for that move up to 40. So right now, I'm not doing anything with it. I may very well do something with it in the future. And if I go like at the money, $22, yeah, $400 in September versus 370 in August, I'd do the August one. Honestly, even though this is low volume here, and we look here, 22, that's very low volume. So there's going to be a wicked spread on that thing. But if you burn theta down, like once that theta burns it down to, 20% of the value, even if you have to scooch it around in order to collect, you're really not doing so bad. Theta's not huge on this one. I'm a little surprised by that. It's only $10 a day. Maybe on the 22nd, 270 in a week and a half is not too bad. Theta's at $11 a day. I'd like to see that theta a little higher, but yeah. SBET is another one on the table. If you're really interested still in Bit Digital, that one as well, you could do cash secured puts. It costs you $300. You can collect 32 for every 300. They're a little over 10% in every 18 days. Or if you go out to the 19th, you can collect a little more than 10%, about almost 15% there in 39 days on that for $3 puts. If you wanted to do a practice on a low cost stock to run a cash secured put on, it'll cost you $300 to run it, and you'll get 45 at the end of September. So that's not too bad either. I'm preferably, though, my preferred vehicle right now is BMNR. This is the one, this is the hot one, this is the one everyone's looking at. This is the exciting one right now. And I'm looking to try to run it close to the money and sell out as it gets frothy and get back in as it hits bases. And I'm trying to churn this thing and collect a few $100s every couple of days if I can while Ethereum is going up. If Ethereum goes down, like we talked about earlier in the video, if it manages to do that, well, in that case, well, then I'd be sitting on my hands waiting for this thing to reset and then sell a lower strike for some pretty intense premium, even if it is in the money still. I have been going in the money on this thing because I'm feeling pretty strongly about it. So that is BMNR. And running the income machine. We closed out, it was about $400 on this one. We closed a little bit on unusual machines, and we also went on Viking Therapeutics, VKTX. We closed out on all of those today, making somewhere around $560 on the day. So just one day of closing cash secured puts. We collected a little over $500 today in Stalagmite. If you want to see how any of that works, go ahead and check out the channel memberships and see what we're doing in there. We're getting up to some very interesting things. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. It does so much to help the channel. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio. Check out the channel memberships. Can't stress it enough. Got a lot of very interesting things going on in there. We're learning a lot about charting. We're learning a lot about entries and exits on these options. And with that said, have a profitable day.